make it go back.
Yo.
It's doing this again.
Uh-oh.
It's still going to air, but.
Technical difficulties on our end. On YouTube, not on Facebook. Not on Instagram. Hey,
Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Hey, everybody, what's going on? We're here. We're live. Live and in color.
Happy Sunday. It was in living
showing
color.
My age.
In living color.
Wow.
You can do what you want to do. In living color.
You're old, too. Jeez. Hey, what's up?
That was my jam. I
Really?
wanted to be a fly girl.
That doesn't surprise me.
Shout out
you're
to
a dancer.
every dancer in the 90s.
Yeah, right?
Wanted to be a fly
Either
girl.
that or what was the golden, what were they? The golden something dancers?
What are you talking about?
Hold on. I gotta Google it.
My time.
No.
The 70s was the, what's it called? The dance show. What was the dance show in the 70s, y'all? I'm forgetting. I shouldn't even know about it. I wasn't alive in the 70s.
It wasn't just golden dancers? It wasn't just golden dancers, was it?
Golden Dance Crew?
No, what the heck show was that on? What was the other show that wasn't in living color? There was another show that was on at the same time. Oh, this is going to drive me crazy.
All right, fam. We're talking to Gen X and maybe some old millennials about, was it in the 90s or was it before the 90s? No, Jennifer Lopez was a fly girl.
She was a fly girl?
Yeah.
Okay, fly girl.
Who remembers other dance shows?
What was the other show? Oh, this is going to drive me crazy. Hold on, we're going to ask.
What's the one I'm thinking of was like 60s and 70s.
No, this was around the same time. We're going to ask Gemini. Let's
Definitely
see.
Soul Train.
Soul Train.
Soul
Definitely
Train's
not
the one
that.
I was thinking
No,
of.
definitely not that
That
one.
was definitely before my time.
Was there another comedy variety show that had dancers like the
Karen
Fly
said
Girls?
Solid Gold
Dancers. Thank you. That's what I'm thinking
Shout
of.
out to Karen.
The Solid Gold Dancers. I'm like, gold something. Solid Gold Dancers. Yes, they were. So they had like gold pants. They did. It was cool. Okay. Totally not why we're here.
Yay, dance kicked off our talk today.
Don't forget, during our this live, if you have questions, comments, or things to engage with us, do so, and you have a chance to win a free bag of Keto Brains, which we are out of.
We need to get some more.
Mad because I'm.
He's mad because I didn't tell him to bring his bag back from work because we were almost out.
So we need to get some. But get a bag of Keto Brains. What else we got going on?
You can get your own bag of Keto Brains for 20% off with code Keto Rehab.
Keto Rehab is your discount code to get 20% off of your own bag. What else we got to remind everybody? Don't forget, we have a meetup. It's less than a month away.
It is.
Officially less than a month away. September 20th in the afternoon, Fairfax Lake Park in Reston, Virginia. Come join us, bring some food. We're gonna have a barbecue, picnic, potluck, and a meetup. It's gonna be a blast. What else?
I have a couple things coming up.
Go for it.
One is, new program is starting in a week.
Oh, okay. This is your new workout program.
They ended my video. Hold on. Pause.
You're paused. You're frozed.
I think it's trying to come back. Check the internet connection. Okay.
You're on.
Good.
You got full bars.
Do I have to start it over, or is it going to start for me?
I don't know.
It just.
I don't know.
It hasn't done this before.
I don't know.
All right, it literally stopped. So
it did. It just stopped the whole thing.
It just said nope.
Hey, it's Maria. Hi, Maria.
Okay.
All right. While you're figuring that out, We
are live again.
Oh, you're live again.
On Instagram.
Hey, we're live
Sorry
again.
y'all missed the fun talk about 80s and 90s dance TV shows. But if you want that part of the banter, go to YouTube on Coach Bronson at YouTube. YouTube at Coach Bronson.
Coach.Bronson.
To get the beginning, the first few minutes of this coffee chat.
It is weird.
Is it weird?
Okay, like stretched out.
Doesn't look weird to me.
You don't think that looks weird? I think that looks stretched. Do you guys think we look stretched out? Because it's not, see the difference?
Yeah, my arm is longer. That's funny.
That's weird. If I go back here, hi, and then go back here. Yeah, for some reason it.
Very odd. Anyway.
I don't know.
She said we look skinny.
We look super distorted. It's weird how it does that. It's been working fine for the last 5 or 6, and then all of a sudden
Instagram kicked me off the live too. That's weird. Right. Weird things happening this morning. Hello, Marie. Glad you are on. Ooh, Watch Me Carnivore is on. Fun stuff. All right. We were just giving announcements. So on Instagram,
you're talking about your new program.
You missed the announcement about our meetup on September 20th. So if you're in the area, Northern Virginia, come on out and see us. My announcements. I have a new program starting on September 1st. So 1 week from tomorrow, we are kicking off a new training program inside the Keto Bikini Academy. So if you want in, you got to join us. I'm super excited because me and ChatGPT came up with a really cute name for this program. All the details are dropping this week, so I will share more about it tomorrow night, Monday, August 25th, on my weekly live, but my monthly Q&A, Ask Me Anything, is happening tomorrow on YouTube at Keto Bikini Secrets, and Bronson's going to jump in with me when he gets off his call.
I have a client call when she's starting, but then when that's over, assuming you'll still be going because you tend to go long.
It will be at least an hour, I'm sure. So he'll hop on and answer some questions with me tomorrow night. So I'll share more about the program, but the little preview it is entitled Autumn Iron. So it's going to be a little old school bodybuilding, weightlifting vibe in this program. So more to come on that this week. And also deadline September 1st for deposits for my next retreat. So the KBB retreat in Vegas for the Mr. Olympia this year in October. We will be there October 8th through the 13th. Mm-hmm. So if you want to join us for that, the deadline to get your deposit in is September 1st. And you can get all that information on my Instagram or my website. All those links are in both and on my YouTube descriptions. So what's going on for you, babe?
Well, let's see. We talked about that. Nothing crazy right now.
We are going to go hang with his fam bam today.
Oh yeah, we're going to visit the family tomorrow. Celebrate today. Oh, today's Sunday. Yeah, today. Wow, I'm reading comments.
We are celebrating him officially being a master's grad, and
tomorrow officially starts the first session, the first course.
Doctoral candidate.
Yes.
Anything else you want to
share?
So
many things going on. How soon? Okay. No, not really. I mean, I'm working on a lot of projects. So I'm working on a new book. I will share that. The cool thing about this book is a big portion of it is going to be profiles of ketogenic athletes. So I've got 10 or 11 currently done. I've got a couple more. I have to interview you at some point. But I'm going to be writing a book that is probably going to take me, I'm estimating 3 years to finish, right? I'm giving myself the time with all the other things going on. I'm giving myself the time to not try to rush through it. The more I dig into what I'm writing, the denser the material seems to be getting. So I'm like, oh, this will be a fun book to write. And then I get into one section and I'm like, one section just on protein, just as an example, just on the protein section, I have 3 pages of reference, just explaining protein. And that's one, like I've got 12 chapters and that's one part of one chapter. So there's
Well,
the
you will have an
references are
editing
going to be
process,
the references might be as big as the book. Just the references, like it's crazy.
Buy the addendum for all the references.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, yeah, here I'm gonna do volume 1 and volume 2. But it's going to be the idea and the purpose of this is this book is going to be my attempt at redefining sports nutrition for the masses, for society, for how the exercise science community looks at what we're trying to do.
This is his mission
And
in life
it's
now.
the switch is really right now. Sports nutrition is focused on performance, and health comes second.
Yeah.
And I want to make the case that metabolic function and health should be the foundation for sports performance, right? You can't be at your optimal performance if you're screwed up metabolically. And that's how we're doing it now. We're trying to do everything. It's very much like the weight loss versus the fixing your health conversation.
Yep.
In quality of life and wellness, people tend to focus on weight loss. That is not the basis of health. And in sport, being able to run really fast is great, but if you're doing things specifically to make you run really fast and you're forgetting about, oh, there's a metabolic component that goes underneath all of this, then you screw that up and you get to the point where, hey, I can run really fast, but now I'm 50 and I can't even walk. Right? And that's where we see a lot of people, they finish their sport and then their life is screwed because they forgot about all this other stuff. So
Yep.
I want to set a foundation for that. And even going down, I had the total say, don't get me talking about this because we're not going to talk about anything else.
Okay, stop talking.
No, I just want to say this one part because it's super important. It starts with kids. I had this kind of epiphany and idea of including some of this in the discussion in that I was interviewing Michelle Hearn, was one of the athletes that I was interviewing. We were talking yesterday and the conversation came up, I wonder if we're talking about metabolic foundation, do kids today have a higher chance or have a more likely shorter ability to perform for longer in their competition than kids from 20, 30, 40 years ago?
Oh, that's interesting.
Right?
Yeah,
If me being
really
born in the 70s, if I was a competitive athlete, because kids in the 70s weren't as unhealthy as they are today.
Right.
So being a healthier kid at a baseline, could that help me perform longer? Whereas kids today, they're eating more fake food and processed food and all this stuff. Is it actually setting their foundation up to be worse?
Yeah.
So when
Makes
they
sense.
are 30 and 40 and 50 trying to do sports, they're having less of a chance of performing. So
makes a lot of sense.
I think it really starts there and then kind of works up. So that's what's on my mind these days.
Oh, also your science club.
Oh, I did want to talk about that. Yes. Science Club, guys, go to my Discord, discord.coachbronson.com and join and then sign up for the subscription membership for the Science Club. We are going over scientific studies, learning how to review information, learning how to apply it to your life, just kind of getting an idea of what's actually out there in the data.
And y'all, this is bringing so much joy
Oh my God,
to
guys.
this man.
If you do it for anything, just do it because I need people to talk to.
He wants nerd friends.
So refreshing and liberating to just have a set time where I can just bleh and go back and forth with people about stuff we see in the science. It's cathartic. It's very cathartic for me because a lot of times you listen to it to a point, but there's a lot of times there's so much stuff going in my head and I just want to talk and talk and talk. Like you just saw what happened with that one little topic, right?
Yeah,
I could do that ad nauseum.
Because I haven't seen what you've seen.
Right.
Because
you're not looking at this.
I have no frame of reference, so I'm just listening to you talk about the weeds of what you've seen.
And you haven't seen it.
With no frame of reference, so I'm just, it does, my eyes do glaze over. But this is like other people who've also analyzed it, who can then discuss.
Right.
Right. So he's.
It helps you understand it better. So that's the other cool thing about it is, if you can't explain it or discuss it, do you really understand it?
Yes.
Right? So when we look at things and we're looking at all articles and publications and this study and that study. If all you're doing is taking it in, but you're not actually taking the time to understand it, then is it really helping you?
Yeah.
So being able to take it and then have a discussion with somebody about it, you're going to hear different points of view, or you're going to hear perspectives or insights into things you didn't think about. Someone's going to say something, you're like, oh my God, I didn't think about that, right? It brings the information to a whole another level of understanding, which then helps you actually apply it better. Because if you don't understand it, you can't really use it. It's like math. You could understand and memorize equations all day long. But if you don't know when and how to apply it in real life, then the math isn't helping you. So
You love you some analogies.
I'm an coach
He's the analogy guy.
So that's the thing. Oh, and I have a new phrase that I'm going to make merch for.
You knew exactly
I'm going to
what
make
was
merch
on my
for.
mind.
You totally, yeah, your face reminded me.
That's hilarious. It just read my mind.
So I'm going to be working on a design. I'm going to work on it today before we go to my parents.
New t-shirt coming out.
New t-shirt coming out. If you didn't know, both of us have an apparel store. You can get to mine from my website, coachbronson.com. I've got Team Protein. I've got Bacon Fat is where it's at. I've got a handful of different things out there. I've got no carb athlete t-shirt and merch. I've got a bunch of different things. I like to munge words and do word games with things a lot as part of just who I am, the way my brain thinks. You can't, like, you'll say something and immediately I'm thinking about a weird way to say what you said.
Yes.
Oftentimes it has to do with mixing the letters.
Yep.
Right? So instead of saying watchtower, or I don't want to use that. I would say Touchwower. Right? I just goofily play around with words.
That's something y'all don't get to see.
But recently we were talking about eating beef and eggs.
His favorite breakfast, his favorite meal.
My favorite meal. I eat it every day, beef and eggs. And I was like, beef and eggs.
He was like, I want to find a way to shorten this.
Is there a way to shorten that and kind of make it a thing?
Combine it.
Beef and eggs.
Beef and eggs.
Beef and eggs. So beef and eggs as one word, BEF with a little line over it, so you know it's E, BEFN eggs. Beef and eggs. I'm going to get a t-shirt that says something like, give me some beef and eggs, or something like that, just so you know it's coming. I think it's hilarious. I'm getting the shirt for me, but if you want it too, then go get it. Most of the apparel on my store is because I think it's funny.
And you want a t-shirt
and I want a t-shirt that says it. So that's what's happening. All right, we've been on for, how long have we been on for? We've been on for,
I don't know, but it's 11:11.
18 minutes. It's 11:11, and we are now going to talk about what we're talking about. Okay.
I just want to banter today. This is fun.
Right? No longer a book, a research manual. Yeah. So Juliana, that's actually kind of what I'm doing with this. There is so much data and so many papers that I could write and publish in the literature. And we talked about this the other day. I have almost 30 ideas for papers already on a list of papers to do. And that list is only going to grow.
Project that may never end.
My mission in life is to get this information out there. And there's two avenues. There's the scientific literature, right? Get the publications out there in peer-reviewed journals, and that is one way. But then that impacts kind of from the top down, right? From the scientific, the institutional, the educational hierarchy of how we get information to the masses, right? We start changing what the science says, and that slowly filters down over decades, because it takes 50 years for these things to get to the masses. That's one direction. The other direction is to write books and get it directly into people's hands right away, and then that can kind of spread. So 2 levels, and that's my goal. My focus is going to be research publications and books. Get the information in both of those locations, and that's the rest of my life. That's the rest.
Yep.
And then hopefully eventually speaking and doing stuff like that. But yeah. So what are we
So
talking
what do
about
we
today?
have on deck for today?
We've got a handful of things. Let me open up my notes. Where do you want to start? You want to start with the whammo?
No.
You want to start with the whammo? Do you want to start with, this is all mindset. This isn't. We can start with that one. Where do you start first?
Where do you start?
Yeah, okay. So
I
got a question.
For where we start?
Yeah, I got a question a couple weeks ago, and this is a topic we were going to talk about last week, but we didn't get a chance to. If I can find the email.
Also, y'all, anybody who's on live, if you have topics or questions you want to hear about today, let us know. I don't know why I'm now no longer inspired by what we had on our list.
Okay.
So maybe y'all can come up with something better.
So I got this question. I'm going to read this email in full because I think it gives you guys, number one, insight into the stuff that we get asked all the time by random people that we don't know and have no background or even a coaching relationship with.
Yeah.
Right? People out of the blue. And then they were like, what should I do? I'm like, and we're kind of like, we want to help you, but we, number one, don't really know anything about you, even though you've given us a ton of this info. And then number two, which is part of the other topic, is we have a coaching relationship with people that we help with. I don't want to just give somebody I know nothing about a bunch of random information with no follow-up, with no idea if they actually can do the things I'm recommending. Like there's a whole bunch of things that go into coaching that we want to have that relationship with you. So here we go. Hi, Bronson. I'm a 14-month carnivore. I started in June. I don't know what SBG is.
Steak and Butter Gang.
Oh, Steak and Butter Gang. Lost 60 pounds between, how did you know that?
I don't know.
Okay. Lost 60 plus pounds between June and October. Have not lost any more weight or fat since. Was high fat, 17 to 2,000 calories a day. I have just started PSMF and also started working out using body weight in the last month. I'm 63, 175 pounds, 5'4", having an InBody scale BMI of 30, body fat 34%, visceral 39%, visceral fat is at 13, muscle mass 100, bone density 6.6, fat-free mass 107. I walk 10,000 steps minimum. So what do we know so far? She was high fat, and in the last month she went.
We know it's a female? Did she
Yeah.
say?
Her name's Crystal.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
She was high fat, went to PSMF, started working out, and added 10,000 steps all in the last month.
No, she's a dog walker. So
so she probably did that before. That's not new. Okay. Here's the question. What would you suggest I focus on? I'm happy with my eating, and as I change from high fat to high protein, I'm hoping that will instigate lowering body fat. No gym where I live. I do have free weights and tension bands. So a lot of information about current biometrics and some of the things she's doing, but there's also a lot of information that I don't have. And what I would need to do is sit down with her, have a call, go through a whole bunch of different things. What does your day look like? What does your food options look like? How is your sleep? What are you prepared to do over the next 3 to 6 months? What are your expectations? There's so many things that go into that conversation.
Yeah, are you tracking macros? Are you
Right. And that's just one part of this conversation. But what I really want to focus on is, this is a common question. What should I focus on first? What's the first thing I do? And here we've got, should I be focusing on my macros? Should I be focusing on my weight training? Should I be focusing on my electrolyte intake? Should I be focusing on my sleep? And we get these kinds of questions a lot. So what we wanted to talk about as one of our topics today was, how do you know where to start?
Or in this case, and in many cases, what to do next, what to focus on next.
Right.
Because most people are not just starting.
Right. What's the next thing, or what should I be focusing on?
Something. They've been doing a lot of some things. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's so complex that we need more information.
Right.
Right? Because even with one-on-one clients, the reason I can tell a one-on-one client what to do next is because I have all the historical data. I have not just all the biometric data, I have the biofeedback. A huge thing here is we have no idea how she feels on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
We have no idea what's improved, what has not improved, what's
Does she have any
worse. Blood
medical
work,
issues? Is she on any medication?
Diagnoses
Yeah.
that she might have or conditions she's managing. How's it been going beyond I lost weight and now I'm not losing weight?
That's what we talk about all the time. There's so much more to it.
Yeah.
And that's part of the conversation as well. If her mindset is just focused on the weight loss, if I talk to her about these other factors, is she even open to considering that those are something she needs to look at?
Yeah.
So that's part of that expectation, perception, discussion and mindset.
And it's clear that the real question there is, okay, I had lost weight, now I'm not. Here's my situation.
How do I
What
lose?
do I
How
do
do
to
I
lose
start
weight?
losing weight? Right.
Yeah.
That's the focus. And often
That
the
is
answer
the
is, and often though the answer is, well, if all you're worried about losing weight, then we need to work with some other things in your mindset and understanding how this process works, because we can help you lose weight, but what we want you to become healthy and then maintain your health. The weight will then come from that.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho, how does someone figure out what do I need to do next or what should I do based on where I am?
Okay, I would say the first thing you do is assess where you are.
Bingo.
So you have to assess first. Gather as much data as you can. And she did a good job of gathering a lot of it. Mm-hmm. Right? So where am I at now? What is what is my body composition? What is my biofeedback? How am I feeling on a day-to-day basis? Right? What is my goal?
Right.
What am I trying to achieve?
What am I doing? Right. So again, she did some of that. She did a good job of, I'm walking, I'm doing this, right? There's some more detail to that possibly.
So how long have I been doing it? That's a huge one.
Am I being consistent? So when you talk about what am I doing, it's not what am I doing Monday through Friday. Right? So there's some evaluations, and this is part of this process. You can't know what to do next if you don't know what you're doing now. And part of that process is being honest with yourself about what you're doing now.
Okay, I have a great example for this. So it's like clients or members will ask, should I change my macros? And then I ask what their macros are, or I look in the app, but usually I'm going to ask them and they're going to tell me. And when they tell me, I check something.
What do you check?
Did they give me their target or goal macros? Or did they give me their actual macros?
Yeah.
Usually they're giving me the target or the goal. So here's what my macros are, quote unquote, now, meaning this is my targets or the goal macros that I'm aiming for. And then when I look in the data, a lot of the time, I don't see a congruence with what they've been doing consistently and what their goal macros are.
Right.
So when you say these are my macros, if you averaged out the last 7 days of your eating, would it match those macros or not? So that's number one, is that, like you said, am I being consistent with what I'm saying I'm doing?
Yeah, and even if you're not looking at macros, this is something we do as coaches too. We'll look at the weekly, but then we also will take a look at the individual entries.
The dailies.
Right? Because if you have one day where it's like, oh, I had 300 carbs, and then the rest of the week you had 10.
And that's why your carbs
And that's why your
out.
average for the week is average. That's not good either, right?
Yes.
There's some of that stuff
closer
that we look
because
at.
if your like protein is low half the week, but then you're blowing it out of the park on the other days, then your protein macro is going to look good. But that doesn't mean you've been consistently hitting your protein goal.
Right.
Yeah.
So those are some things we look at.
So start by looking at what you're doing now and your consistency with your plan right now.
That's the first thing. So that is absolutely the first thing. Do you have a plan established? Have you set a plan? This is what I'm planning on doing. And are you doing it?
Are you executing?
If that is a no, then you know what your first step is. You know what the next thing you need to do is. Do your plan.
Do not change the plan if you're not following the plan.
There's nothing to change. Yeah.
Now, I will say there's one caveat I would give to that. One time you might change the plan when you're not following it. And that is if you are trying and failing to follow your current plan, you might have to say, okay, is there a step I could take that would be a step in that direction that I could actually follow through with?
Yeah.
Because if you just keep hitting your head against the wall, trying to follow this perfect plan you've laid out, and you're not getting anywhere close to it, maybe it's not the perfect plan for you.
And that's part of that, being honest with yourself and what you're doing, because part of that is acknowledging maybe this plan is too aggressive.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So maybe I'm trying to do something too extreme, because remember, the whole idea of what we're doing here is to benefit our lives, not disrupt our lives.
Yes.
So if we were adding stress in the process, it's likely that the plan is a little too much. We try to take too big of a bite.
You're trying to go from 0 to 100, right? And then you just get frustrated because you're not following it, and then that makes you feel defeated. So, okay, what would be so then in that case, the first step would be identifying what would get you closer to that plan.
Right. Is there,
so what would be the next?
What's the reason you picked that plan? And then is there something between that and where you are that's a little bit more attainable that would get you closer to that, even if it doesn't get you all the way there?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
In coaching, and this is a big piece of many coaching programs, is the concept of ready, willing, and able. So understanding what are you ready to do, what are you willing to do, and what are you able to do are not all the same thing all the time.
Nope.
You may be ready to do a whole bunch of things. You may be willing to do a whole bunch of things, but your schedule, your job, your kids, a physical limitation, there may be something else that's you're not able to do it that way. So understanding that it's the combination of all three of those that you got to find that balance to when you set your goals.
Yep. Okay. So assess.
So I think that's the first
and
thing.
Evaluate your plan, assess your ability to execute it, your consistency with it. And then from there.
Now, assuming that you are hitting everything and things aren't happening, then same thing, ready, willing, and able.
Yep.
What's the next thing I'm ready, willing, and able to do? And this is where you look at what are the options, what are the different levers that could be available. There may be a nutritional thing that you could pull. There may be a lifestyle, a sleep, or a meditation, or a taking some time off, or, getting a routine, maybe just taking a shower at the same time every day. Maybe it's getting off of the couch and walking around the house more often, or going for a walk outside, getting some sun. There's a whole bunch of things that could improve your health and improve your progress in whatever goal you've set for yourself. Maybe it's getting stronger.
The biggest tip I would give here is to pick one lever to pull at a time.
Yes.
Don't try to throw everything at it at once. I'm going to add cardio. I'm going to cut my fat macro. I'm going to go on 3 walks a day. I'm going to
do 75 hard.
I'm going to get in bed by 9 p.m. And now, once again, you've set that bar too high, and you're probably not going to be able to execute all those things.
And this is where the ready, willing, and able thing really comes into play, because you can literally take every idea you possibly have of the levers you could pull. I could do this, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. Put them on a piece of paper, and then put a box, ready, willing, and able. And just rate every single one of them. Which one makes the most sense? Because here's the thing. There's no real wrong answer. Because think about it this way. If you have 5 ideas of things you could do, and every single one of them you honestly think could help you reach your goal, then why does it matter which one you pick? Pick whichever one feels the most comfortable and natural and easily implemented in your lifestyle.
That's what I would go with next. And that's a lot of when we're focused on fat loss with my fat loss clients, we usually are looking at, do we adjust macros, or do we maybe add some cardio or adjust activity to keep things moving in the right direction?
Or maybe even timing. Maybe have a little bit longer if you want to try to intermittent fast. And there's different things you can do.
There's lots of things. But I love that concept of, okay, what feels the easiest thing for me to do next?
Right.
Let's pick that lever. And then by picking one lever at a time, you can see if it's actually working or not. Rather than now I don't know which of the 5 things I just threw in actually made this happen.
While at the same time, I now have to manage 5 new things in my life. And then I'm wondering why I'm stressed out all the time. And then I start gaining weight.
And then I lose my progress. Yes, exactly.
Because now I'm overstressed and blowing everything out of the water. Right?
Ding, 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 ding.
Is anybody feeling this by any chance? Anybody feeling some kind of way?
Resonating with anyone? All right. What else is on the list?
Well,
or do you want
let's
to
just there's my process and your process. We're doing very similar things in our lives. We'll talk about our cuts again.
Oh, okay.
Right. So, we talked a little bit about this the last couple of weeks, but I got on the InBody again today, and I've had a small movement in all the right directions, but it's been consistently doing the same things. I did find out though, I got to tell everybody about my mistake.
Oh.
So it didn't apparently seem to make that much of a difference because I pushed it back up, my fat back up a little bit, and I still had a little bit of a loss. So I accidentally miscalculated my macros the last couple of weeks because we ran out of 88% ground beef, and she went out and got some 85, and I was tracking it as 85. And then when we ran out of that and you got 88 again, I in Chronometer, I like to just copy paste my things. And I forgot to change
the ground
beef from 85 to back to 88. So for like 2 weeks, I was tracking at 85.
So he was
I was
eating less fat.
Recording more fat than I was actually eating. And it turned out to be like 15 grams a day for 2 weeks and I was already eating a little bit lower than my goal. So I was like way lower. Yeah.
And then you corrected. You know what? Now that you mentioned that.
I did correct it.
You corrected for it. So you were eating more fat. And that's why you didn't get as big of a drop this time, I think.
Probably. Yeah. Because I went back. I went back into the data and fixed the data first. I went back and fixed all the entries so that I was tracking it properly.
Right.
And then now having it in. But also, we didn't have 88. Now we have the 90 and the 80.
Right.
And I was combining those two. And
yes.
I don't think the 90 is really 90 because it's pretty fatty. But however.
Anyways.
But yeah. So consistently moving in the direction, make sure you're tracking everything, try to be honest with yourself. But this week I haven't made any changes on purpose to anything because it's been moving in the direction I want to go. The only other difference is I've only worked out 2 days this week because of the time I took off. So I've only actually had 2 workouts this week so far.
Okay.
Outside of, is it 2? No, 3 workouts this week so far instead of having a bunch of consistency. So I took essentially 5 days off of exercise. So that might have played a little bit of a role too.
Oh, right.
Because the overall
activity
level was lower. So, but that's that.
So I finally got the drop I was waiting for.
Drop.
For 7 weeks, 8 weeks now. This week was week 7, I believe, of my cut. 7 or 8, I can't remember now. And I finally dropped 2 pounds on the scale. So I'm now, and everybody will understand this. I know you're all get this. When you are hovering in a decade, between one decade and another decade on the scale, meaning
tens.
The tens.
Like 8.9.
I was at 120 to 121 up and down for 7 or 8 weeks. And now I'm sitting in the 119s, and it's been in the 119s point something all week long for 7 or 8 days now in a row. So we have finally stuck under that freaking 120. And I swear it's the best feeling. I'm like, it's like 1.5 pounds from where I was.
Right.
But it is the best feeling just to see the teens again. So, and my body fat percentage has also officially dropped under 20%. So it's been staying in the 19 point something percentage as well.
Okay.
So, and I tell you that, and Mary Grace and I were chatting because she's a shorty too. For the shorties especially, 1.5 to 2 pounds, it feels like 10 pounds off on our bodies. We don't have a lot of space for it to go. So when it goes, I feel so much lighter.
You don't?
And you've been noticing.
You got plenty of space to me.
Shut up. You've been noticing my.
You got
Shreds.
Trunk. You got space in that trunk.
Not shreds. Pump. You've been noticing my pump lately.
Your veins, yeah.
My veins.
It definitely
So-
shows even more when you're exercising, when you're
Oh
lifting.
yeah,
your
when I
stuff
have a
pops
pump,
out.
an actual pump, I noticed it in the gym the other. Speaking of taking time off the gym, that was another big thing I did. I took 13 or 14 days, almost 2 weeks.
Was it that long?
Off entirely
Wow, yeah.
of training. I was going out for
You
a
felt
daily
like
walk.
crap. You felt like crap though.
Yeah, I mean, not like crap, but like sick enough. You know what I mean? Where it wasn't. I didn't have to be in bed all day.
Mm-hmm.
And part of me kind of wished it had just done that for like 4 days and just
And then
been
get
done.
back to it, yeah.
But it was like this low level. So I talked all about my prep last week on my weekly live Monday night. So you can check that out on my YouTube. A lot of updates there. But I also got really good blood work back this Monday.
Oh yeah.
So now I know I've got to do a blood work video. But I'm going to wait until next month because I want to make sure this is not a fluke.
Do it again.
I'm going to keep doing everything I've been doing and hope that this is real and that it sticks. And then I can talk more about the mechanisms, what I think has really moved the needle in terms of my blood work.
Yeah, I tried to schedule my blood work this morning and it wouldn't let me. I don't know why.
That's weird.
It's like, there might not be a place available in 50-mile radius of where you live. I'm like, it's the same place you guys let me go
You were
last
going
time.
through
Like,
Fountain? No, which one were
Function.
you doing? Function.
yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, this is something, do we want to talk about that? Since we just talked a little bit about the whole coaching relationship and
Which one?
this one.
I don't remember. Oh, yeah, let's go for it.
All right, so another kind of an offshoot of the discussion we had with the emails that we get or the DMs that we get or people
It's very well
commenting on videos
related.
and just asking us for, essentially they're asking us for coaching. And this came to me because I actually had someone that I've known for years message me on Facebook recently, asked me, hey, I'm ready to do your thing. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? And I just asked some, leading questions. Why is this all of a sudden the thing? Like trying to get some information, like what's he doing? What does he want to do? And where does he want to go with this? And it's like, he's getting fat, doesn't like it, wants to make some changes. I said, okay, you understand that these changes aren't going to be comfortable if you decide to do it. It's going to be a change in your lifestyle. Are you ready for that? And he's like, yeah. I said, okay, great. I don't want to, and here's the crux of the conversation. If someone's reaching out to me, it's not the same as me doing what we're doing now and just generally putting information out to help people figure out their own way.
Right.
If someone's reaching out to me saying, hey, I need help, then I'm not just going to say, here's a link or go buy my book. Right? That's already there. I don't need, why, that's for the general consumption of people to have. If you're taking the time to reach out and ask for help, then I'm going to try and help you one-on-one. I'm going to ask you some questions and I'm going to say, what do you want to do? How can I help you? Let's talk about having a coach-client relationship. That's what I do. This is what it says coach on my shirt, okay? I'm not here's a bunch of information, I'll answer all of your questions just because. That's not what I do. I can't support myself that way. So, and I can't do the things that we're doing consistently without, right? That's part of why we charge for things, right?
We would be spending all day, every day, just
answering questions for people.
Basically working for free.
Yeah. So there's a reason there's a business aspect to what we do because we have a service that we are providing to help you improve your quality of life. Okay? And the note that I have in my thing is a little snarky, it's a little sarcastic, but basically the idea is don't expect a DJ if you're not willing to pay for Spotify, right? We have people all the time that are asking us for the most that they can possibly get out of us without being willing to invest anything themselves. And this is how we know if you will be successful or not. If you're not willing to invest not just your own effort, but money. And here's why. Your willingness to put money into it is a major sign that you are actually ready to do something.
To commit. Yep.
Because if it's coming out of your wallet, you ain't going to do that for nothing.
Boom.
Now, we do have people that do end up paying us and then not do anything, but that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, that's another topic.
But to get that initial entry point into, I really want to make something, you need some skin in the game. And that's part of this, where that relationship comes from.
That's Lori.
Put your money where your mouth is.
where your mouth is. That's right.
So we have people, I have a large, I don't know, a lot of people who, and maybe it's my fault because I like helping and I like educating and I put so much information out there. I have people who, and this is another reason I know they're not ready. I have people who have been asking me the same questions.
For years.
For years.
Years, y'all.
I had somebody comment the other day asking about figuring out what their lean mass and protein intake was going to be. I know I've answered that question with them directly multiple times.
Yep.
Right? It's in my books, it's in my videos, it's on my blog. Like,
yeah,
the information is there. And if you're not willing to invest the time to work with us individually, are you really trying to get where you want to go? So that's where that conversation's coming from. Mm-hmm. So, do you have anything to add to that?
You mic dropped on that. I have nothing.
Alrighty. All of the stuff we have today is mindset stuff.
Yeah, it is.
But what's new, right? Let's do this one since we're deep, since we're in it.
We're already 46 minutes in. Do you want to? Yeah, we can.
We'll do one more mindset one.
Okay.
A little reflection exercise, a little awareness exercise.
Yeah, we don't have to go into too much of the weeds on this one.
No, you want to just read it?
What you imagine other people think about you is based on how you think about yourself.
How many people hear that? Right? I honestly don't even remember where that came from. I think it was probably something I saw on TikTok that made me go, ooh. Oh, it was you've seen it, the guy talking about, he kind of starts the video with, how do you all go about your lives, knowing what other people think about you and blah, blah, and whatever. And then the guy responds, he's like, because I realize that I don't actually know what anybody thinks about me.
Ah, yes, it was so
right?
good.
And he's like,
yep.
Everything that I think about what other people's perception of me is only coming from my brain because I can't read minds.
Woo! So we were talking about this because we were like, this is an insight into how you feel about yourself.
Right. Whatever you think other people are thinking can only come from your self-image. That's it. It's the only place it can come from.
So start to notice that.
Yeah.
Notice what you're thinking they're thinking about you.
And that is
what you think
that is
about
what you think about yourself. Right? Juliana mentioned imposter syndrome. That's a great example.
Yeah.
That's a great example because I've dealt with it. I still deal with it at times. Getting up on stage and speaking is a huge trigger for imposter syndrome. Getting up there and being like, what am I doing? I remember the first talk I gave in Salt Lake a couple years ago, and I had major imposter syndrome. But she helped me get over it.
I remember that.
Because, and I told her at the beginning, I'm like, all of the people that were there, all of the doctors and PhDs that were up, and I was like one of the only people that, I'm just this random dude. Like, I don't have any credentials. What am I doing up here talking?
Yep.
It was the first time I met Dr. Ballerstad, Tro, Lenskis, Westman, Harper, like all these people. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing up here?
Barry was there.
Yeah. God, there were so many people that were talking there. And I was just like, okay, I'm going to get up on stage and talk.
Was that when I told you because you were thinking about like you were talking to them and I was like, that's not who you're talking to? No,
it was just more like just feeling qualified to be on the same stage as them. Mm-hmm. Right? And now I know, it's whatever. But at the time, my thoughts of inadequacy were because I felt inadequate.
Inadequate. Woo.
Not that
They
any
don't
of
have
them
chills.
felt inadequate.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about myself.
Yep. Yep.
So you have to understand that if you feel like someone's being judgy, that's you not being confident in your own decisions. If you feel like somebody doesn't like you, that's you being insecure about something about yourself and not understanding that you are who you are and being authentic to that person. So but everything is a reflection of your own self-image. So be aware of that. And the whole deeper part of it, which maybe we can talk about before, you said has been a topic in your group of the identity thing and all of that kind of stuff.
I think that's why I was like, oh, maybe we shouldn't go into that when we're already 45 minutes in, because the whole who I am thing is like,
Yes.
woo.
Yes. Well, I do want to say, because this goes into it, the thoughts that you have, and this is what we talked about. If you're thinking of, okay, we have to go into it. It kind of goes into it a little bit, because what you think your perception, what other people are thinking, is a reflection of yourself. At the same time, make sure I say this right, the thoughts that you don't let yourself have is who you truly are.
That's right. That's what yes.
Because we all have thoughts that for whatever reason we block, we censor. Yes, that was the word.
That was it.
Everything that you censor about yourself
is who you really are. So your uncensored thoughts, your unfiltered opinions, statements, thoughts, dig into that to figure out who you really are. And this was the profound thought I had when we were talking about this the other day. All of that judgment that you're perceiving from others, that's also shaping who you are. Yeah. So there's some stuff up there that's going to be exciting to uncover about who you are. Like, yeah, okay, that's me. That uncensored thought is me. And other parts of it is going to be kind of scary to discover about what you think about yourself and how that's shaping who you are and how you show up in the world.
Yeah, and how you censor and what you censor is also something that's very keen to be aware of. Because if you have a thought and then you immediately push it down, why did I do that? Why am I holding this back? Why am I not allowing this to be who I am?
To be okay.
To be out there in the world, right? Why am I covering my light?
Yep.
And that's something that that's what makes us so awesome, is we talked about this the other day. In case you guys hadn't realized, we talk a lot about a lot of stuff. Yeah. We are always talking about stuff. But that's part of who we are. And that's what makes our relationship so awesome, is the freedom to be in a relationship where the only censorship can come from you because your partner's not going to do it.
Oh, yes. And that's a thing that early in a new relationship, there's a lot of holding back.
There's a lot of holding. It wasn't with us.
It
wasn't. Yeah, definitely not. Here you go. This is me. But that's also how you know if the person that you're with has done some work and is okay with their authentic self.
Yes.
Right.
And we were both coming out of a period of doing that work. So like, you were so unapologetic.
Yep.
And honestly, it was refreshing though, because I'm like, well, I know where he's at.
I didn't really even think about it. It just kind of.
Because that's where you were. Yeah. You were so I'm tired of censoring who I am. And I'm not doing that anymore. So here you go. What you see is what you get.
I do censor myself for you guys, though.
He does.
A little bit.
He does. In the name of professionalism. I want to be
somewhat professional and not a complete goofy hornball. I want to be intellectual and professional and approachable and accessible. You don't want to see the sarcastic, goofy hornball.
Some of them have no problem with that. They'll be like, bring it
Would that be the alter ego? The alter ego of Coach Bronson?
We do have layers of ourselves, and that doesn't mean
middle school boy is what Juliana
right. What
says.
he's not saying is go to your job tomorrow and start
Right.
cursing up a storm at your boss. Right, like we still can have filters for particular environments.
There
that
are
we're in.
societal norms that must be maintained in the social contract that we have in life. Yes. Oh my God. So, okay. Well, we've been on for about an hour, just under an hour.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to end with, leave with? It's been kind of quiet today, guys. There's been some thoughts, but no questions.
Yeah.
Dustin says, I'm not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am. I am who I think you think I am.
That's fun.
Oh my God. Emily says, this is so true because the feedback I receive at work is always so different from what I imagine people think about me.
Ooh,
yeah, that happens all the time.
Right? That's true. You know what? That's my advice that I always give when I talk about mindset and identifying your thoughts is find the accuracy and find the lies. Because a lot of the insecurities and the perceptions, the negative perceptions that we have were shaped by some programming that we've gotten throughout our lives. And some of it is shaped by the way we're treated by others when we're young, for example. And then we take things to mean certain things. But I always like to say, nothing in this world has any meaning except the meaning that we assign to it. So we get to change the meaning of things. We get to analyze our thoughts and say, wait a minute, is that true? Or is that just what I have believed for a very long time?
Yeah.
Let's find the accuracy here. Perfect example is at work, for example. You think you're not living up to the expectations of your boss, or you're not performing your duties the way you're supposed to, or you're not this enough or that enough. And then you get a shining performance review. Well, that's your evidence. That shows you the accuracy versus the lies.
Right.
So you can look for that in any area of your life.
There's a really good, another example when we talk about things that shape us as children. There is a picture that we have of our parents often that drastically changes in our perception of them and the way they treated us and how they brought us up when we have kids and we become parents. And often that leads to a crossroads where we have to say, I can't be mad at my parents because they were dealing with what they had to deal with based on their perceptions and their expectations and all the same things that I'm dealing with and have to make decisions for my kids, right? We understand, guys, here's a fact of life. Here's a fact of life. Every parent in the world has screwed up their kids on some level. It is not possible to not cause some kind of
damage
to your kids, because it's not damage. It's life.
Woo.
It's experience. It's what shapes their personality and who they become, right? So there are foundational conceptual things that, we want to try to do, but every parent, even the best meaning parent who does everything the best they possibly can, is going to make mistakes.
Yep.
And as a child, you're going to misconstrue and not understand some of the things that they did.
Yes.
Much of the trauma that our parents have caused us isn't the parent's fault. It's how we perceive the action or how we perceive the interaction or the relationship. Because we don't understand as kids where any of this is coming from until we live it. So
oh my gosh,
it's all the stuff in here
that brings up 2 book recommendations I want to make to really help you understand a lot of this stuff and go deeper. One is called The 5 Personality Patterns, and it is not a personality type test type of book. Not that. What it's describing are the patterns that you learned to go to when you were in trauma as a child. And trauma can be the simplest thing that you're not thinking about as trauma.
Yeah.
One of the best things I learned when I went through my healing journey, and I had some help from coaches, was understanding that it didn't have to be this massively traumatic childhood abuse type event for it to be traumatic in the sense of how a child perceives it. It could be the simplest thing of your parents saying, not right now, when you were having an emotional outburst, which has literally happened to every single person on this planet. Your parents didn't always allow you to express all of your emotions every single time. It just didn't happen. Maybe if they were hippies, I don't know. But at any rate, you perceived that as trauma because you were not allowed to feel your feelings in that moment. And that manifested in a certain way. And in a situation like that or any other trauma to a child, you did something to soothe yourself. And this book talks about the 5 main patterns that develop. And we all have like a main one and maybe a secondary one that we go to. And it is fascinating for understanding why you have certain habits in your life that may be negative because at the time they were helping you escape from that trauma. And then the other one, the OG of the metaphysical from the 1970s, Louise Hay.
Vibrations.
Hay House Publishing came from her, right? So all the other self-help books basically have all come through Hay House. The original one was You Can Heal Your Life. And in that book, she talks a lot about discovering where these things came from and forgiving your parents and what you went through. She gives you affirmations and processes. The most fascinating part of that book to me, there's a whole index in the back that has every physical ailment that you can imagine and what it's connected to. Emotionally. And so you can heal that internal emotional thing and, it's interesting. It's fascinating. So yeah, if you're woo-woo, that's like the evolution.
Queen of woo-woo right here.
The ultimate queen of woo-woo was Louise Hay. So yeah. Check that out.
So do you have any questions on yours? Juliana said she's making a ready, willing, and able list.
Okay.
I haven't gotten any questions.
No questions today. I've got comments.
It's so funny. Last week we had so many questions.
I know.
515 Keto Warrior says, good morning. Thank you for your book.
Aw, yay.
I don't know what company goo it is, though. I use it in the treatment center. Karen says she booked her room. You know Karen's coming.
Oh, for the meetup.
Yep. They're talking about K-pop demon hunters on Netflix. That's funny.
Wow.
No questions on yours?
Nope.
All right, well.
Hold on, let me see.
Uh-oh. What are you looking for? Did you see something?
I was just looking at who was on.
You know what? I think, has Karen won
Yes.
a bag already?
I think I just sent her one because she won in my group.
Oh, so you sent her the one that was mine.
Yep.
She gave one of my bags of keto brains away. I was not happy.
I had to mail it out and I happened to have one.
I happened to have one. My money. Didn't even ask.
I didn't know he had bought that bag. I thought it was one from KB.
I don't know. Who gets a bag today?
Well, we gave away 2 last week and nobody asked questions this week. So I think this is a no bag week.
All right, no bag week.
Sorry, guys.
Nobody asked a question. All right, if you want a bag, you got to ask a question. So we will be on next week and you will get a chance. And you can't ask a question right now. It's too late.
And on that note about questions, tomorrow, my Q&A, Ask Me Anything, there is a post on my Instagram and my Facebook with a call for questions. And I've started to get a few. So if you have questions you want me to answer tomorrow night on my live, drop your questions either on Instagram or Facebook.
Okay.
You could even drop them in the comments on YouTube, and I'm sure he'll tell me.
Yeah.
Okay, fam. That's it for today.
Oh, and I'm going to ask everybody who's still on. please let people know. If you're not already sharing this out, let people know that we have this. It would be super cool to grow this and get a bunch of people on here every week. The more people we have, the more engagement, the more fun you guys have, the more fun we have, the more questions, the more things we have to talk about, and it just grows from there. So please, please, please
Share it with a friend.
Share this weekly chat with a friend, and we love to see this grow and meet more of you.
Invite them to join you on the live next week.
See you guys.
Bye.